In today's video, we're going to be doing magnetic light connectors on a drift car. I made a short recently just showing how they worked, but not exactly how I put it together. So, quickly show you guys that I did the E30 body recently. We're also going to be cleaning up the wires on the Toyota Soarer body, exactly like we did here. Great buddy of mine, Dean, showed me how to do this style light kit and how to clean it up very nicely. So we'll run through the items that I showed in the thumbnail and what you'll need to get this type of project done. Super efficient, especially when you have magnets for your drift car. Those just snap on and snap off with your body, so it's really convenient to have. So stay tuned and we'll dive in and get this done. Alright, so we'll go through some of the items that I've used. First of all, I made my own light kit with cheap Amazon bulbs. You can get 120 of them, 6 different colors for like $20, $25. And then shrink tube. This is 3/16 shrink tube. This is the main shrink tube I use. So I got a lot of it. I believe it was from, could have been from Amazon, might have been Princess Auto. This is an Amazon shrink tube kit. You can get these for probably 15 bucks, I believe it was. This roll of wire, 10 feet of each, red and white, or red and black. This was only $6 or $7, Amazon. The Pogo magnetic plugs, I believe is what they call them. These were Amazon as well. Some clips, also from Amazon, super neat. You don't have to use zip ties, so you can just put your wires in there, pull them in and out when you need to. You don't really ever need to pull them out though. Everyone should have a hobby. Everyone should have a hobby knife. Got some wire strippers. Just a cheap solder gun. I only use 300 degrees when I'm doing super small wires like this. Just a cheap roll of solder and a torch for all the shrink tube. Super handy to have instead of a lighter, just because you can actually point it right onto the shrink tube. That would be all the items you're gonna need. And we'll dive into this. We'll get these wires cleaned up and a new magnetic connector on this chassis here. This is actually my first chassis. It's been a little neglected after I built the RRX 2.0 for my Beamer over there. This one has just kind of been sitting around. Took it outside a couple of times to drift, so we'll show it some love and hopefully get it back to the track soon. Alright guys, let's dive in and get this done. Alright, we'll start with the magnetic connectors here. We'll build these. Need one for the chassis, one for the body. Also got to figure out how much wire we're gonna need from the capacitor right here. And I'm probably gonna end up mounting it over by the receiver, get it away from the gears. See, right around there. Get the chassis back out of the way. Also, these have a male and female end. I've been using the male end for the bodies. So put that over there for now. Oh wait, do the chassis one first. So the female end, you can see, do this one on the chassis. Strip much wire for these ones. little bit of a difficult part is because they're magnetic. I'll use hair tie, or if you got a set of reverse pliers or whatever, this could work. Ones where they have the spring loaded, like this, but the other way. And simple as, get it zoomed in a little. Okay. We can tin the wire. One wire on. Usually give it a little bit of a pull test. Oh. Good connection. This works almost just as well. Just putting it on the end of the pliers. Pin. Go. There we go. Get those two pins separated. It's tricky not to touch that plastic part. And we'll put some shrink tube over that. Hobby knife. Got a full square. Put it on a nice low setting and just fan it back and forth so you don't burn anything. Oh, and the magnets. Okay, that should be good. Go one step further, two steps further. Another slice of it here. This is 1/8 inch shrink tube. We'll this over both of those. There we go. Shrink that up quick. This is just the final step to tidying this guy up. There we go. Just to keep this from arcing out on anything that it may touch by accident. I've never had that happen yet. Okay, so this was for the chassis, so we can add that to the chassis now. Extra step is adding a piece of shrink tube, a couple of them, just down the wires to keep them in place a little bit nicer. Like so. These ones I wouldn't bother shrinking down, just so you can slide them down the wires to keep them in place, just like that. Alright, get these wires stripped and soldered to the cap pack. There we go. That's a better connection. Yep. Okay, so that is now on the chassis. Alright, gonna cut down one of these to hold that chassis magnet connector in place. Should be enough surface area with just this. Should we put it on this way? There, now we got somewhere to put it, and we can just glue it in place. Maybe add a zip tie over here somewhere. Actually should be fine in there, just kind of hanging out. Can't go anywhere. good. Can glue it in place if you want to go that extra step, but that should be fine. And I might change up the color of lights in the front here. I had these all yellow headlights and amber, and 2 yellow headlights. Thinking I might do green, and then 2 white headlights for a new look. And then I also have the marker lights here too, lit up, so keep those. Confusing part about these other colored ones, this is negative, black is positive. Very strange. These are all negatives. Negative. And all these black wires are positive. So check your bulbs before you install them, because these colored ones are funny like that. The red and black ones you see on Amazon are proper. They're positive and negative, red and black. These colored ones, very, very strange how the colors are the negatives. I saw the orange on flash for a second too. Come on. Let me see the orange. Let's test the orange by itself. And it does work. There we go. Okay. These ones situated. There we go. And we're gonna shrink tube these up, get them all in one big bundle. That's where lots of this comes in handy. And I'm also going to get my hot glue gun ready, so I will be right back. Okay, so stuff cleared out of the way. And just like this one, you can manipulate the resistor and the end of the bulb a little bit to bend them into place so you can get them all nice and straight together. Then we'll hit it with the loom or shrink tube after. Since these headlights go in like this is right where the wheel is, so we kind of want them a little bit over like this one. You can just easily bend them over like that. Some loom there. Get a few dabs of hot glue to hold the lights into place. bulbs are glued in. Get rid of the, or wait a minute. Guess give these a chop. Oh, shrink wrap came off. I'll just add a better piece of shrink wrap over that since that just slid right off. Taillights are ready to go. Oh, a bit more than that. Stay on a little bit better. Alright, I'm a couple steps ahead now. I have the taillights back in the body, so I know exactly how much wire I need to run down the side. I also hot glued the bulbs back into place. Did that with the headlights as well. So everything's just a bit easier to work with. Alright, I'm going to get some more shrink tube and some more soldering done, and I'll get back to you once I have a bit more done. Now I got some more shrink wrap on, got the wires figured out where I want to put them. We want to run them down the side of the body, but keep it out of the way of the wheels. So we're going to add one of these clips here, right around in here, and then probably another down over here for the headlights to connect right into the middle. And now I just got to strip a bunch of these wires, twist them up, and get the headlights put in place exactly like I have these ones. Alright, so something I'm going to do with the headlights, I'm going to bunch them up, get all the positives and negatives shortened to about here. We're going to cut off a bunch of excess wire, and then we're just going to add in this wire to run it down the side of the body. Much easier than trying to put all of these wires down the side and add wire to this one, and then we would need to add a little bit of wire to that one as well. So we can just do 2 equal length wires if we bunch them up all in the middle here and run them down the side with 2 wires. That's the easier way to go, and it's definitely going to look a bit cleaner. Alright, now that I got the wires a bit further along in the headlights, this is how I'm going to do it. Link all the power cables together so they come down in the middle like that, and then we'll just take one wire, loop it around there, get it soldered in, and we'll run that one wire down the side instead of all of these down the side like I was showing before. So I'll get this soldered up, looking a lot better, and then I will get back to you. One more thing I should mention is I got shrink tube over these wires and then I have another big piece on these two over the shrink tube already, so I can cover when I'm done. That's why I have so much shrink tube. And then you also have to have another piece of shrink tube to cover the solder joints. So very tricky, and that's why the shrink tube kit really comes in handy, and that's why I'm running low on a few of them. So another tip I should point out, because this gets a little confusing doing it like this. Alright, we're just about done here. Got the easy 2-wire extension soldered in. The shrink wrap wouldn't get over that bulge, so quick Gorilla Tape over that. And then we have shrink wrap on both sides, so we can cover up most of the damage, what we were working on. Oh, 1 second. There we go. Most of our wires are hidden. That'll be easily covered with the clip. And then all we got to do is solder these in and get our second magnetic connector on for the body. And then we are all done. Alright, we got the wires all cleaned up. And I got them into the clips along the side of the body here to keep them out of the way of the wheels. Got enough length to reach our plug on the chassis. So now, you find that plug before you put the body on. Lights are on. No worries about plugs. I went with the white and green lights on this one. Looks pretty good. Hopefully there's some helpful tips you guys can use in your next light kit if you're attempting to do this. And as always, thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you like this type of video. Click the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright guys, have a good one. Thank you for watching.